Well, the ISPI team has made it back to Springfield, Illinois. We are on Capitol Street in beautiful downtown Springfield, a very historic part of this town. Tonight, we are investigating a historic place. It's called the Hickox House. One of our best friends, Garrett Moffat's with us. And Garrett, you always manage to bring us to kind of the most unique places of Springfield. And you brought us this great house here. It's called the Hickox House.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about the history of this house.
Sure. This house has a tremendous amount of history to it. This house was built in 1839 by Virgil Hickox, and he was an early pioneer here into Springfield, and he had a mercantile store attached to the house on the other side where this parking lot now is, and he ran a rather good store for a number of years, made some good money, and he had 10 children, and his family lived in this house, although 4 of his kids passed away. But he lived a pretty illustrious political career here in Springfield. He was a friend of Abraham Lincoln. In fact, Lincoln was received in this house on a number of occasions.
Okay.
But here's the rub. Virgil Hickox was actually Stephen Douglas's campaign manager.
Really?
So even though the men were cordial,
right,
politically they were opposites. But Virgil Hickox, he died, I don't know, early 1880s. And there the history is slightly sketchy for a number of years. We do know that a number of businesses were in and out of the house, but we're not sure which ones. But we do know that by the turn of the century, this house had become what's called the Sangamo Club.
Okay.
Well, it's kind of a country club or gentleman's club type of establishment. And it operated that as a private club for a number of years. But by the end of World War I, this house was now the Branson Morgue. Mr. Branson was the Sangamon County coroner, and he had moved his private funeral home business into this house. Now, down in the basement below us, of course, is where the body preparations were all done, of course.
Right.
The main floor that we're standing on right now, of course, was the funeral parlor itself, and then he lived upstairs.
Okay.
Now, after that was over, during Prohibition, the downstairs below us was a speakeasy. But of course, by the time Prohibition was over, there was a gentleman by the name of Norbert Andrew, I guess, and he decided to open up an establishment downstairs. So the speakeasy became a legal establishment at that point.
Which is still being used.
And it's still an establishment of food and drink to this day in 2012. So I guess that's a tradition set forth by Norbandy himself that's still honored today.
This from the Capitol area Paranormal Society is Dave Roberts, and Dave's group's kind of been in and out of this house. He's kind of shown us where some of the activity is. And Dave, why don't you talk to us a little bit about some of the things your group has picked up? I know you got a website too that shows some of your evidence.
Yes, well, I know one night my sister and Vicky and Trish, they're in my group, and they spent the night in here, and Trish had her hair played with up top of the staircase. They heard really loud footsteps coming down the staircase. They had a door slam into them in the library room down here. The door slammed open, but before the door slammed, you can hear a voice say, "Let's scare them, 1, 2." We captured on the EVP. That's just some of the things. Just last night, we saw all kinds of shadow figures, probably 5 or 6 different occasions. Basically any kind of paranormal activity, people's classic activity we've had here, doors opening, closing, hearing voices, people having their hair played with, people being poked and touched, just about everything. We've gotten dozens of EVPs out here, several really interesting pictures and some video out here. So people seldom leave here disappointed if they're looking for activity.
Okay. Now, one nice thing is the owners actually let paranormal groups come into this house, right?
Yes, he's kind of left it up to our group. We let them in here, and they investigate. And we have a lot of private groups who just families and things that come. We got one family that's been here 6 times.
Okay.
They're coming in tomorrow night. They just love this place. About 6 or 8 of them. Kids, parents, and sisters and brothers, they just keep coming back. They just love this place, and again, they're never disappointed when they come in here. We let them use our equipment, and we'll download the recordings for them, whatever the case is, and we'll help them out all we can.
And we're with Trish. She's part of the Capitol Area Paranormal Society. And Trish, I tell you what, we were talking to Dave a little earlier. He said that you had quite a unique experience here in the house.
Yes,
you want to explain a little bit about that?
Sure. Vicky and I came here one night as a girls' night out. We left the guys at home. We decided we're just going to come investigate. It was a really good night. When we came into the house, it was very quiet. Just seemed too quiet that night. So we kind of thought it's going to be a good night.
Right.
So we had several things. We kept seeing shadows following us. We kept feeling like there was somebody with us the whole time. We were upstairs, and all of a sudden my hair got pulled. Now you have to know I'm not the sensitive one here in the group. Dave
Right.
and I are not sensitive. So my hair got tugged, and that kind of made me think, wow, someone's trying to get my attention. We had cold chills going between us. We were both standing like this, and like 1 minute, chill to the bone. It would be me, the next minute Vicky.
Okay.
So that was pretty neat. Yeah.
And your hair actually got tugged. You actually felt something
Yes.
tug it.
It's just, tug.
Okay. And right now we're talking to Vicki. She's part of the Capital Area Paranormal Society. And Vicki, you've been in the Hickox house several times, right?
Mm-hmm, correct.
And let's talk a little bit, kind of what was a little funny, unique while the cameras weren't rolling and we were kind of setting up. I noticed that you were using some dowsing rods.
Yes, I do that, yes.
And do you find that gives you some accurate readings?
I'm not really for sure because, like all humans, I feel like spirits are the same, that they can be honest or they can prank you. And,
Right.
Unless you get an EVP to go with it, it's really hard to know. But I try to retain all the information I get, for further, research or,
Right.
if something comes up, I think, yeah, I do remember getting that answer. And
Okay. Well, and how many, you've been in here quite a bit because you're actually Dave's sister.
Mm-hmm.
And, have you guys kind of maybe put the EVP to test with a dowsing rod? Have you put the EMF meteors to test with a dowsing rod?
We have gotten some EVPs.
While the dowsing rods are
yeah,
crossing?
Yeah, especially with a little girl,
Right.
named Alice, and I have contacted her through the rods. And,
Okay.
And I remember the first night coming in, I was surprised going back through the evidence. I did get an EVP that I couldn't quite make out what she said, but it was definitely a little girl's voice when I was asking her questions.
All right.
My name's John, this is Bruce and Chris. Of course, you will know Garrett. We're here to talk to you tonight. We've come a long way to talk to you. Could you tell us your name, please? I have this little box sitting here on this lovely table that has a little red light. You need to come over and talk into it. And I just will make a note that I do hear the drums and stuff from downstairs. So we've introduced ourselves. Can you introduce yourself to us? Can you tell me what your name is? Did you live in this beautiful house? I really love the history about this house. History is one of my favorite subjects. Did you know President Lincoln? Okay, I'm going to make a note that I'm hearing them from downstairs too. Were you married and had your family in this house? Can you knock on a wall for me, please?
That was me.
Okay.
Stephen Douglas was in this house on a number of occasions.
Stephen, is your spirit here? I'd love to pick your
Yeah,
brain.
no kidding.
Hey, Garrett, can you move on this side, please?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy spending time when Stephen Douglas was in this house? What a great opportunity. Did you enjoy working in the political era during the big time of Springfield? That was their life downstairs. Could you tell me a little bit of something about your life, what you did for a living?
And they're pointing to you.
To me.
The camera guy.
Ah, and then we're turning.
Do you like Chris? Do you like John?
Wow.
Which do you like better, Chris or John? Now you can't split the decision here.
We're going back over here.
You like Chris?
I wonder if it's me because I'm dizzy.
Who's that?
That's a yes.
You like Chris better, huh? Well, I won't hold that against you.
I think that was a big, humongous yes.
All right. Well, you know,
No
Chris.
offense.
Chris is a little younger than me.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Okay, this device is a device you can manipulate the frequencies and talk to us. It takes a lot of energy on your part, and I'm sorry for that. Can you tell me your name? Is that no? We'll discuss later about this idea. That's a complete sentence over all those frequencies. That sounded kind of profane, didn't it?
Oh my gosh.
What's your name? Okay, I tell you what, just because I don't know whether we're getting any interference, let's change frequencies. This is a little higher frequency for you to reach, but I know you can.
3D.
What's your name? Tell me your name, please. One at a time. How many spirits are in this house? Did it say this is?
Sound like 6 to me.
6? Are there 6 spirits in this house?
Good.
Can you tell me your name?
It's Will.
It's Will.
That's what it sounded like to me.
Can you tell me my name? My name's John. Can you say that? You'll have to say it a little louder. Do you know the female that's with me? Did it just say Vicky?
It kind of sounded like Vicky.
Can you
Yeah.
can you tell me her name again? Are we boring you?
Radio.
Radio?
Yes, this is a radio. Can you use this radio to talk to me?
The rods are shaking like now.
Is it too high a frequency for you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, well, we'll go to the lower frequency. Okay, can you tell me my name? It's John.
And the rods crossed when it happened. Yes.
Tell me, who is the female with me? Vicky?
Yeah.
Do you like Chris or John better? Vicky.
Oh, thank you.
Vicky was not one of the choices.
Why, thank you. That was very nice.
Are you male or female? What's funny is it's holding the frequency longer, Rich. It gives an entire sentence over 2 or 3 frequencies, but it's the same voice. But the answers don't make sense. What's your name? See? Try not to lock my radio up. What's your name? Your name's not Vicky. Lock it up again. Do we bore you?
No. I'm interested in that camera.
Do you like that camera Chris has? Yes. Did you hear that?
Oh, and the rods cross, yes.
Can you walk in front of it?
Can you walk in front of that camera for me?
Indicating yes. I feel like they're magnetized together. Okay, now they're
Brought Dan back in here. Dan, we're running an experiment back here. Vicky says she feels very uneasy in this back part of the second floor. How do you feel right now?
Uncomfortable.
You feel uncomfortable too?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to keep you back here for a limited amount of time since you feel uncomfortable, but I want to try another ghost box session while you're back here. Okay, can you now tell me who's here with me? Did you say, Dan?
I think so.
Tell me again who's with me.
Can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you shine the light on that ghost box? When something starts, can you look down at it and see if it's stuck or is it still going?
No, it's still going.
Those are like 4 syllable words. Half sentences.
Okay. Tell me who's here with me. Yeah, John's here. Who's here beside me? Just said Dan, but you know, okay, you're talking about it skipping. It's still going. The frequencies are still going.
It's not like sticking on one.
No, it's not sticking. You've seen it rolling through, right? Let's turn it this way. Okay, can you tell me your name? See? It didn't stick, did it?
That kept rolling and went through that many frequencies?
Yeah. Now, what's your name? Ben. Okay, that it just kept going. Still going.
What frequency you just getting a lot of voices on?
No, I don't.
There's actually a lot of AM stations here in Springfield. You got 790, 930, 970, 1180, 1240, 1370, 1440, 1450.
Okay, so I'm wondering if we're not getting cross-talk from those stations.
The 1500s, 1540, 1550, 1580.
Can you knock on a wall for me? Okay, I just seen a shadow behind you, Bruce, on that wall that's just coming out. That looked like something just went through there.
In back of me?
In back of you, and it's in back of the camera. And that, see how that comes out, that white?
Right.
It just went right through there, and it wasn't quite as tall as you. It come to about your neck. Now you come back up to that recorder and talk to me. And I'll be able to hear your voice. Can you tell me your name? What was that? What's your name? Can you tell me what year that you lived or maybe worked in this house? I hear movement back there. Did you live in this house? Is your name Virgil?
Okay.
What?
I don't think I did it, but this chair has kind of moved a little bit.
Right, I just heard it.
But I'm sitting in.
Are you around Chris, touching Chris? Knock on the wall or something so I know you're there. That was a car outside. Drove over something. Knock real loud for me, please. Okay, that was dangerous.
You want
Step in here, so.
Okay. Is it still like vibrating you?
a little bit?
Move away from Chris and touch something else.
You want to play chess?
Okay, that was lights going by Bruce on a car.
Shall we play chess? I don't know how to play once you do the first move, so I know how to play.
What was that?
Oh, I heard it too. It sounded like somebody walking.
Sounds like it's in that back hall.
Yeah, it does.
Yep, there's a shadow. Go all the way back. All the way back, Bruce. Go all the way back.
It blocked that.
Right back through here.
Two things I learned here. One, don't run in the dark. And two, when chasing ghosts, your team won't come back and check on your safety.
All right, is there anybody here at all? Come on. Is that you?
No.
That was very loud.
Wasn't me.
Can you do that again? That was very good. Thank you. We're still still not sure.
It almost sounds like that thing just moved.
I thought you bumped it.
No.
Yeah. We've had that before. That's kind of the sound we get in here once in a while.
That's kind of what it sounds like.
It's quick snap.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, okay, not dismissing that, but I'm gonna throw this out here to see what you think. With the music playing in the bar, I can actually feel this chair vibrating.
It was right behind you.
Yeah. I heard it.
Yeah, I heard it too.
I just thought you bumped it.
No, because actually I wasn't even touching it. I was standing in front of it. I wasn't leaning against it.
I haven't heard it. So you have to, I don't know what that was.
Except it was louder now, wasn't it?
Yeah. We've captured green, strange green lighting here in this building. It's bright green. Chris caught it one time in the hallway, and then we caught it several times a few weeks ago. And Dan saw it at the top of the staircase. The green light. I mean, a couple went that maybe. No, I don't know what they were. Very bright, odd shape.
Now, is Chris your son?
No.
Okay.
He's known from the paranormal group. I met most people. I'm going to this monthly paranormal consortium. Started going to that. My friend had me going. That's where I met everyone.
Is that here in town?
Mm-hmm. It's out of Lincoln. Yeah, UISC college, yeah.
Well, the ISPI team has kind of wrapped things up, of course, here in Springfield, Illinois. And, of course, a big thank you going out to our good friend Garrett Moffat, him and his wife Monica. They always hook us up with the best haunted places here in Springfield. Don't forget, if you'd like more information about Garrett's tours through Springfield, the Lincoln Walks, you can actually get a hold of him through springfieldwalks.com. Also, if you'd like more information about the Hickox house, you can find all that information on our Facebook page and ways to get a hold of Dave and his group to get in here and take a tour. Again, that's going to wrap things up from Springfield.